You're listening to the Mistresses of Mayhem with Metal Local Radio, and DJ Sun is joining me today. This is Mistress Oisey, and we have a very special guest chatting with us tonight.
It's creator and founder of Lords of Acid from Belgium. All over, across the pond here, we've got Praga Khan with us. Welcome to the show, Praga.
Thanks for having me. I'm really delighted to be on your show.
Well, thank you so much. We know that the album Pretty in Kink was just released, and can you go through and tell us a little bit about that album?
Yeah, it's the new album, just released. We've been working on it since the beginning of last year. We started in January, and so it took me quite some time to get it ready, but I think it's more important to take your time than to rush it. So because the thing is that what I learned in the past is that you cannot force creativity. You know, it comes at the most unexpected moments. So you just cannot push it. This one took me quite a while, but I'm very happy with the result. I really love the album. And that's not the most normal thing in the world, because most of the time I hate my albums.
So you guys did something different for funding this album. You want to tell the fans how we got this album?
Yeah, the thing was that a guy was working with me, his name is Rocco, and he's a friend of mine. He's a rapper. And he was coming up with the idea to do a Kickstarter project for Lords of Acid. But in the beginning, I was a little bit scared of it, you know, because we've never done it in the past. And the thing is that he had put out a delivery date, like somewhere last year, in June or something. So, and for me, it was like, hey, I thought, I just cannot do it in that short amount of time, you know, because recording an album it's something. And most of the time, when I make an album, it takes me, when you take one song from the beginning till the end, you can always say this is 6 weeks per song. That's a normal thing, because the thing is that you don't record 15 records, but at the end of the day you record 30 records, 30 songs, and then you take the best out of it. So you always have to make a lot of songs just to make a solid album that you can kill your darlings. and then I got this proposal to do his US tour together with Combi Christ last year. And then, that tour came in the middle of the recordings, and that was also for me quite strange, because I've never done that before. Because most of the time, I go into the studio when I do an album, and I lock myself into the studio. I stay there for months, in complete solitude, and until the album's ready. But this time, I had to leave the studio in the middle of the recordings, and I went out on tour. And you can imagine it's a complete different atmosphere, being on your own in the studio or going on tour and being surrounded by so many people and meeting so many people in different cities. It's completely different. But in a way, I was happy that we had the tour, because we already had some demos, and I could ask some of the diehard fans. The fans that I know, and that I know that they're really honest with me, I could ask their opinion, and I think it helped me at the end of the day to get the perfect record.
Wonderful. Now, we've been going through and blasting the record all morning today. Well, for us, it's morning. I'm sure it's late evening for you, but with this record, we're going through and seeing a lot of different sounds that we haven't seen on previous albums. Can you go through and describe, what your recording process was, how that was different compared to previous albums?
Yeah, it was different, because the fans were really involved this time. So I asked them, okay, what what's your favorite Lords of Acid song? What's your favorite Lords of Acid album? And then they even could choose the album title, because they came up with the title Pretty in Pink, and then they also came up with the subjects of the songs, because we did some polls, polls on Facebook. And so I asked them, okay, what would be like a real nice subject to write a song about? So they came up with the subjects, and they came up with the album title. So they were like involved all the way. And for me, the difference was that most of the time I'm on my own or together with Adam, the guy who was working with me in the studio. But now we were surrounded by hundreds of people during the creative process, and that was completely different. Yeah. But I had a lot of feedback, a lot of honest feedback, and there's a lot of people who tell me, "Well, it's maybe one of the best Lords of Acid albums we've had years now," and I think it has a lot to do with that. That. I felt like really safe, surrounded by so many people who love my music.
So with this new album, I assume that we can expect some touring. Will that touring include worldwide touring, U.S. or just European base?
We're going to do some festivals in Europe during the summer. And there's gonna be a tour in the States at the end of the year. I think it's gonna be October, November, and so we're at this moment. So we already have a couple of dates. I cannot announce it because it's not really confirmed yet. And I don't want to get into trouble with a club or something, or a concert hall. But the thing is that we're gonna tour in fall, and what I can tell you that is that we are looking to have the perfect support acts for us, and we want to make it different from the last tour, because the last tour was with Combi Christ. And it was an amazing tour. We had a lot of fun. They're amazing people. It's a great band. But in a way, it's a more up-tempo, aggressive set that they play. And so we had to move along with the atmosphere that was created by Combi Christ in the club. So this time I want to have it more sexy. That more like the atmosphere that is in the album. Mm-hmm. So I want to have it more theatrical. I want to have more sexy, slow songs into the set. I want to have it more like real Lords of Acid.
So for this album, did you guys work with anybody new?
Yeah, there were quite some guests on the album, because I was playing with the idea to do something with rap, rappers in the studio. But in the past, most of the vocal, like the male vocals that were on the albums, I did it myself. But this time I invited a couple of friends who are quite famous into the rap scene in Europe. And it's way better than I can do that. It's I'm very, very happy with what they did on the album, and it's also something new, something we didn't try before on former albums, like doing this sort of rap together with Lords of Acid music, and in a way it works really nice. It's to me it sounds a little bit like some songs sound a little bit like Rage Against the Machine in 2018,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something that I really like, like making all kind of different combinations of styles, because I've been listening to a lot of music over the years, I'm not the guy who's only listening to dance music or only listening to alternative music. I have a very open mind when it comes down to listening to music. Yeah. And so whatever influence I can bring into the Lots of Acid music, and when it works, that I'm really happy for it.
Now, you say that you do listen to all sorts of kind of music. What's in rotation on your MP3 players right now?
There's a lot of. Most of the time, I'm listening to music on the radio. So we have this radio station in Belgium called Studio Brussels, and so they play a lot of nowadays dance music, but they also play a lot of alternative music. So that's music I'm listening to. But at the end of the day, I also listen to music from the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, and that's something I'm I really love listening to music. It's my favorite thing. I've always been like a music lover in general. I always have music in the background whenever I go somewhere. I drive in my car, or I go jogging, or I go out, or whatever. I need to hear some music, and I'm always very curious of all the new things that like these young kids are doing with music, because now like the trap or dubstep or all these styles, like it's very, very inventive what they're doing. And that's what really makes me happy, that there are youngsters that still find a way to make dance music in a different, from the old days. Because at the end of the day, you only have your recording studio and a couple of synths, and that's it. So you have to be very creative in the studio.
Oh yeah.
And and still, it's like people like Skrillex or Deadmau5 and stuff like that. In a way, they did a lot for dance music. I'm a very, very big fan of these guys. Also, the whole trap scene. I really love listening to trap. I love listening to dubstep, because in a way, it's the hard rock from the dance music for me. But the thing is that I'm not the guy who's going to make dubstep because now dubstep is in, It's like Lots of Acid is Lots of Acid, and Lots of Acid is me and what I feel when I go into the studio. I can listen to a lot of stuff. I can be influenced from a lot of stuff, but at the end of the day, I create my own stuff,
So wonderful.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's great.
Music is this. Yeah, it's good for the soul.
And it warms my heart to know that you still listen to the radio as well, because radio is not dead. That's wonderful.
No, radio is the most important thing in my life, and I listen to the radio every day, like every hour of the day, because I'm also a big sports fan, so I always have the radio in the background to see what happens, like following everything. So radio is my number one media thing. Yeah. And I'm very, let's say that in the US, you still have a lot of independent radio stations, and that's what I really like. But there's been a lot more in Europe, but now there's some regulations that there's a lot of radios that have to close down because of European regulations, and I really feel very sorry for these people, because they've been making radio for 30 years, and then they have to stop because of the frequency thing, And so that's what I really like about the US. You have so many great radio stations like yourself, and you have your listeners that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, got to go through it. I'm going to ask a personal one now. With the intensity, the sexual intensity of your music, is your personal life just as intense?
On the sexual side, you mean?
Yeah.
Now we're getting really, really intimate. You know, it's like the thing is that most of the time, like I'm influenced by what's happening in the world that's surrounding me. You know, so when I go out on tour, there's a lot of stuff that's happening. Like not that long ago, we had to play at this fetish party in Holland, like the most crazy party in the world, like Wasteland, and that's where I find a lot of inspiration because like everything you can imagine, it's there. These are things that are not allowed in Belgium because we have very, very strict rules. But in Holland, everything is free. You know, you can. You can do whatever you want. You can buy like marijuana in a warehouse and stuff. So that's. But most of the time I get more and more influenced by what's happening in the world around me. You know, and that's. I've been in there in this scene for so long. And I've seen so many things, but I'm still like surprised once in a while. Just a couple of weeks ago when we played at that Wasteland Festival, it's unbelievable that there's like 5,000 or 10,000 people who go to a party completely naked and they have lockers, you know, so you can put your clothes in there. And when you're performing on stage and when you see all these people like going crazy, it's like Dating Naked. You know that program? It's a little bit like that, but in the concert hall, it's very funny, you know. But it's a source of inspiration. It's weird. There's a lot of strange stuff going on. But The good thing is that when you're like just like observing it from a distance, then it's good. But I cannot go too deep into that scene because it would damage me.
Understand.
Okay. Well, awesome. Well, I want to thank you again for your time today. It's greatly appreciated. We just want to tell our listeners to go through and check out the new album, Pretty in Kink. We're going to play a couple of tracks for you now. We've got So Goddamn Good coming up. Now, this song is one of our favorites off of the album. Braga, what's your feelings about this song?
Yeah, the thing is that we have a new singer, and she's called Marieke. But you can call her a little Bloody Mary because she's known under that name here in Europe. And she's an amazing singer. She has a very, very she has a great voice. She has a wide vocal range, unbelievable. She can go really high, she can go really low. She can go really sexy, but she can also go really aggressive. So for me, it was good to have someone like Marieke in the studio, so I could. I didn't have a lot of limitations. Like vocal wise, and the So Goddamn Good. It's one of the songs that I really love on that album. Yeah. Because it's a very funky, sexy song, and we had songs like that on previous albums too. But this time, I feel that it was coming together. Like, to tell you something that's something I didn't mention to anybody else. So far, it's like most of the time when I'm listening to my own albums, to the albums that I produce or I write, like most of the songs I listen to, these are the songs that we're playing live, you know. When I have Voodoo You or Lust or Little Secret. The only songs that I get to hear are the songs that we're gonna play live. So I will rehearse them. But this album, it's an album that I can put on when I'm driving in my car. You know, I enjoy listening to this album from beginning till the end, and that is very, very, very strange for me because it didn't happen with Choir Council albums. It didn't happen with previous Lords of Acid albums, but with this album, I have a very, very good feeling about it. I really love it, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that we have a great singer, we have a great fan base who were there to support me during the making of the album, and and I think it's going to be an amazing tour in fall. So make sure you're going to be there.
I agree. It's an amazing album.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Well, we encourage all of our fans and listeners to go through and pick up the album, Pretty in Kink. You can pick it up pretty much anywhere right now. We're buying our album off of Amazon, but we know that Apple Music, Google Play, all of those all have the album. You can get physical copies, downloaded copies. It's pretty much everywhere right now. And like I said, we're going to go into So Goddamn Good on the Mistresses of Mayhem.